You out here giving out tickets. I'm good. I'm on the right side of the street.
You better go ahead and move your family to the burbs.
They be ruthless sometimes. So she's like, why you run out in the middle of the street? I'm like, to stop you from driving. Boy. That's
So we
one
are
thing I
live
will not miss.
this morning.
We live?
TT Danny, I would love for you to turn on your camera so people can see you. We got the immortal and praiseworthy Rachel Holland in the place to be. My man Christopher T. Merritt. T. What does the T stand for, Chris?
I don't know. There is no T.
Oh, there's no
R.
T. What is it?
There's an R.
Is R? What's the R stand for?
R stands for Rodney.
Rodney. There you go. First of all, that is the most blackest name in the world, Rodney. Rodney for the dude and Keisha for the woman. That's the most blackest name in the world.
That's my father's name. All the men in my family's middle name is their father's first name.
No doubt. Tradition.
Hey, that's the same with my my husband. His middle name is his dad's first name.
Well, I got my grandmother's family name, I got my grandfather's name, and then my pop's last name. Chafin is a family name, and there's only 2 of us, right, that have it as a first name. 3 now. Well, Uncle Chafin is gone now. He's the oldest, so I ain't Big Chafin then? All right. So we're here with Danielle Taylor, the designer agent. She is taking her business to a new heights. Rachel Holland, don't get her upset because she's a shark in the water and she carries a sword. Let's go, y'all. And Chris Merritt, the chipmunk killer. Let's go, baby, with his bare hands.
Yeah. No weapons. A rock.
Your dog over here caught a squirrel this morning, but only caught the squirrel soft mouth, didn't break the skin, shook it around, let it go so it can run again, caught it again, shook it, let it go, and I caught it on the 3rd go.
You caught it?
No, I caught her on the 3rd go, so I let the squirrel go. That squirrel gonna be traumatized. It's got therapy sessions. I don't want to have to carry up the squirrel
that
therapy
squirrel
session.
got internal bleeding. That squirrel, you're gonna find that squirrel tomorrow.
That squirrel. Woo. You okay?
That dog probably switched that squirrel's heart and liver around.
Switched it around like here. Let me do some surgery on you. Anyway, so this morning we are lead generating. I have made 22 contacts this morning. These are follow-up contacts of agents that were inquiring about the Quantum Agent program. You can inquire about that too. Click the link, say hey. I am going to let you all know that we are doing big things in this market. So what is happening with the Quantum Agent is that we are resetting our business every 90 days or so. And in resetting our business, we are allowing you agents to sort of rock with us. Basically, if you wanted to come and reset your business, or you wanted to start new business or something like that, you could actually build a pretty big business alongside of us and wash, rinse, repeat it. We've set up teams. We've done some really powerful individual agent development. But more importantly, I'm showing you, not just telling you. I'm doing it myself. I'm starting from scratch. I'm starting from 0 every 90 days. We'll be interviewing agents that are doing the same thing. I'm gonna be asking you all to journal your stuff and to share your journal entries with us. It's going to help the community. It's going to help the industry. And hopefully what will happen is that it'll actually change the game and build big business. today was a losing day for me. I had most of the people that I talked to was not interested in services. They weren't interested in growing big business. And something that I learned a while ago is that I'd rather get a no now than carry on a maybe forever. Right. And so, it's just really interesting. The agents that are doing business with us, the agents that are growing with us, they're getting incremental progress. But like Chris Merritt that's on here, I don't know if Chris is going to shout out. Chris's first deal is closing in 60 days after he started as an agent. Am I right?
Yes, sir. We came up
Right now you got a halo.
Oh, there we go. I got to get this light situation. Yeah. I started being an agent. I think it was August 9th. So I first got the email saying, welcome to EXP. And I guess it was literally 60 days on October 9th. I closed my first rental. So I'm excited about that. Ringing bells. And then
Ringing bells, let's go.
And then on the 10th, I think it was also on the 9th, I posted my first listing live on the MLS. So
you have a listing, you did your contract, you got another listing on the way.
Yeah.
Right. And and your coach, this bastard of a man, right, is like, that's good. Better best is if we had taken some of that energy that you did, because you expended a lot of energy. You are the ultimate agent as far as I'm concerned. If we had taken some of that energy and done some open houses and worked with some buyers, you might have even been closing on a sale this week.
Correct.
So if you had, first of all, are you journaling your process?
Through videos, yes.
That's
terrible
journaling.
writing.
You don't have to qualify it by saying through videos, man. These agents out here are stuck behind the concept that writing is the only way to journal. You're doing it a great way.
Cool.
Right? If you had it to do over again, starting day one, August 9th, what would you do differently?
The whole process, you mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I would do anything differently. I think I did everything correctly, meaning I was well prepared. Like, when I first signed up, I did all my research on my coach, my mentor, so I knew who they were before I started dealing with them. And that prepared me for the type of questions I was going to ask them and the type of answers that I was prepared to receive from them. And then so when they started giving me their secrets and hints, I had already heard those secrets and hints from them and other people time and time and time again. So it wasn't like I had any inclination that these people were pulling shit out their ass. It was like, nah, this is what you're supposed to do. So when you first came and told me there's a 90-10 rule, I had already heard that 100 times already. So it's not a surprise, nor is it disappointing when you actually go out there in the field and it really is 90-10, because everybody knows that. That's like saying when you get a car, you're supposed to put 4 wheels on it, So that's just how it goes. And so far it's been just that. And throughout my 60 days, I've been fortunate enough to learn enough from you and my mentor to kind of create my own style. And yes, that has led me into a certain lane, which right now is rentals. But if you asked me this question 2 weeks ago, I was full on in buying mode. I was trying to get all these guys buying. And then I had to figure out how to tell the real from the BS, because everybody wants to seem real. And I had to it's building your own strategies. And I think it's worked. I think there's so much to explore in real estate that I'm just covering a corner, like a little crumb, a little nook.
So right, step one, man, in the bakery, man, you got to mix your flour, your sugar, your water if you're gonna bake. Let me do this. Let me do this a little differently. TT Danny, can you unmute for me for a second? What up, Angie P? in the place to be. Real estate
Right.
agent, mentor extraordinaire.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I am pivoting, trying to get to an appointment.
Okay, before you go on the appointment, just give me 3 minutes of, do you remember your first 90 days and how was it and what would you do different?
First 90 days was overwhelming.
Mhm.
Support was definitely there. What I would do different is I wouldn't spread myself so thin.
Mhm.
I would give myself the grace to realize if I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail knowing what not to do in the next time. Challenge myself and get it done. And I did.
No doubt. No doubt. Okay, Danielle, TT Danny. Go ahead, get ready for that appointment. Am I ringing the bell for that appointment?
Yeah.
Let's go. Ring that bell. Ding, ding, ding. Angie P, you stepped in. You stepped in it. And Rachel walked away. So I got to go to you next. First of all, nice profile pic. Beautiful ephod dress. Let's go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I had to change it up a little bit, you know.
Angie is the epitome of, you said locks ain't versatile. Hold my beer. Angie, you are a
Yes.
certified mentor. You are an accomplished agent, but you are also a pretty new agent. Am I correct?
Yes, back in it again after a 10-year siesta.
So if you know, like I know, y'all, if I take 3 days off, I'm a brand new agent when I start again. 10 years of doing other sales. She was a salesperson though. Look, don't get it twisted. She's a badass salesperson. She didn't want to just try to get me to look at my roof again because she was doing some inspections and she talked to us about what usually goes wrong. I'm like, let me look at my roof. Angie P, do you remember your first 90 days, the first time or the second time? And how was it and what would you do different?
I would say more relevant and pertinent is the second time, because sales don't change. That's gonna be what it's gonna be. I will piggyback off of Danielle and say giving yourself grace, because you're not gonna know everything, and hone in on what you like right now, especially because it may end up being your sweet spot, and not always saying, you know, I'm so new, having that in your head, but just those things that you know to be true and those trainings that you've attended, that you've gained information, just go with that and go with the flow, and not being a secret agent. That was the other thing. Everybody, because I totally made a blast about it. Everybody, they mom, they sister, they cousin, know that I'm an agent, so that way they can start looking at me in that light that I'm an agent. And it's taken a few years for some of those people to then come back around and, yeah, and I see you serious about this real estate thing. Oh yeah, I'm not playing. So now a couple years in, now they're coming back around, those family and friends, but those may not be your initial clients. It may be those people who you don't know, and you put some marketing material out there and boosted some other properties. And so, you know, you may have to use some of these sources that pay at close, the 35%, like the Zillow thing, or the realtor thing. You may have to do that for a little bit to get into writing all the contracts, feeling comfortable with those things that you need to get to be able to be that expert. But you're never going to know everything. I'm learning, and I've definitely done well this last 12 months, the best I've ever done. And there's still things that I learn every day from somebody else who maybe even be newer than me.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah,
Yes,
definitely give yourself the grace. Go with those people that you that are, you know, that are speaking, you know, speak those things into existence. You know, you got to have those affirmations for yourself and not be afraid of failing. So yeah,
I like
are
that. Make that failure part of your business.
Fail forward.
Fail forward. Let's go.
fail forward. And it's what my old boss used to say, positive pressure. It's pressure because you want to be great at it, but make it a positive pressure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, I'm gonna go. And first of all, thank you, Angie P, mentor, realtor. I'm gonna ask Rachel Holland. Now, Rachel, I know you only been an agent for 2 weeks, so I know it's gonna be hard to go back and remember your first 90 days, but I'm gonna ask you the question. There's 2 levels to this. Rachel Holland is also a team leader of a dynamic team, the Holland and Walker team, in Gwinnett,
Yes.
in Gwinnett, Georgia. Angie P knows them well. So I'm going to ask you the question twice. So I'm going to ask you as an agent, do you remember your first 90 days as an agent? What was it like? And what would you do differently?
I do remember what it was like. And I remember what it was like because I got my license after an involuntary separation from my employer. And so at the time, I was still looking for another job. And so I did, outside of joining my mother-in-law's brokerage to hang my license, I did nothing. It was not until maybe 6-8 months later that I was laying on my bed crying, asking God what the heck was going on because stuff wasn't going right. And he asked me what was in my hand. I said I had a master's degree in my hand, but that wasn't getting me another job. And then I said, and I have a real estate license. And he said, well, looks like you need to start working that. So I did start working that. I did some research. I joined a company that did foreclosures. This was back in early 2009. So I got my license in October 2008. So somewhere in mid 2009 is when I really started working my real estate business. The positives of getting with that company was that I learned about the foreclosure market and started as a listing agent with them. And then, but it didn't teach me about the regular market and really how to work with regular folk. And it kind of pigeonholed me into this low cost investor client market that was a hard climb to get out of. Because I mean, price points for the investors I was working with were like under 100,000. You know, very few would be at least 150. So it was hard that way. Some lessons looking back, I wish that I had known about, and I can't even remember if EXP was out at that time, but if I'd had known that there was something that existed like this, I think that my business would have taken a different trajectory.
When you say like this, you're talking about cloud-based and a little bit more agent-centric. What do you talk about?
I'm talking about the tribe.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, I get it.
Tribe.
Yes.
Because I came from a culture of working with people in a team mind, a team set. I didn't know that's what I was looking for. I didn't know that's what I needed. But looking back, I see that's what I needed. And so I wish I would have known about that this would have been just amazing in my first, couple years in the business, because now I have obtained some poor habits that I am in the process of trying to break, to be
Haven't
honest.
we all? Haven't we all? Let me lead that to, hold on, let me end the highlight there. Let me lead to the next question. Do you remember the first 90 days as a team leader and in starting a team, and what was that like, and what would you do differently?
There are two phases to this team thing, because it was creating the team, partnering up with my partner David.
Dave.
And I think that we should have really defined what we wanted to do and how we were going to do it. Because at the time, it was, when we partnered up, it was all about, okay, we're gonna put some money together in this account so that we can work together on Zillow leads, and it won't cost us both an arm and a leg. We can share the advertising cost. That was the premise behind our partnership, and it worked. We did well, but and then Angie came along talking to David, and he talked her into getting her license back and all that kind of stuff, and then she made us, a real team. Like, we now have an agent that we got to look out for and try to make sure we, provide some value. And so maybe if we would have been a little more intentional about bringing agents on and what that was going to look like, because right now we have 3 agents on our team, and I still feel like we're behind the 8 ball trying to make sure we add value to them and trying to set up the structure so that they feel like it's worth contributing to this team.
From a permission to coach.
Okay.
So from your coach's perspective, I think that your 90-day journey, even though it was 6 to 8 months, right? Your 90-day journey, if you can find the power to go back and journal that time, you may be able to better set your team up for success today. If you can go back, if you could do your best to recollect highs, lows, tears, cheers, et cetera, you may be able to give them a blueprint and leapfrog, not to say they're not going to go through the same process, but you may be able to leapfrog them into the next stage by sort of sharing who you were, what you were doing, what you were thinking, right? And how that either helped you or hindered you towards your ultimate goal, whether it be real estate or not. And that's what I think we're looking to do with Quantum Agent, right? So I'm going to say I would take that first 90 days and I would take this 90-day session that you're going through now and see if you can get them to replicate your process. Get them in the group with you. If you're not, if the results that you're going to get are going to be together anyway, see if you go ahead and get them into your private group with you and see if you can go ahead and get them to start inviting folks. There may be a reason why people aren't doing it themselves, but they'll do it with a group. Your circle needs to hear from you more often. And I think maybe you need to widen your circle. Your team is a great way to widen your circle. Invite folks that are not at what they used to say, invite folks that don't eat at your table to come on and taste your food. Okay, so that's the permission to coach is ended, right? And so in me resetting my business, I'm talking to people that I wouldn't necessarily talk to. Like I have never, ever, ever wanted to deal with the multi-unit investor and this, that, like you can keep all that, right? Because I only work with the most motivated buyers and sellers in the market. And for me, in my mind, the investor wasn't the most motivated buyer and seller. But the great reason, the great benefit for resetting your business every 90 days is you can look at cause and effect. I could look at the results of the work that I'm doing, or the conversations that I'm having, the ratios that are there, and it doesn't take me a whole day to recognize the sunshine. So right now, the people that are buying are people that are used to buying, regardless of interest rates, regardless of mortgages, regardless of this, that, the other thing. The people who are buying are used to buying. It is not necessarily your first time home buyer that is going to be buying right now, right? Because there's a lot of fear in the market. There's a lot of uncertainty, et cetera, et cetera. So for me, that has been my bread and butter for probably 5 or 6 years, is that first time buyer or that step up buyer or whatever, et cetera, et cetera. The person that's buying right now is used to buying. They're not afraid of an interest rate. They know that the interest rate is going to eventually go down. They know that the price of a property is probably better now than it will be in 2 years when the interest rates go down. So they know overall they'll be paying less for the property. They'll be paying less over time. It's great. Go ahead, Danny. Go out there and crush it. Good luck. So the ability for me to reset my business every 90 days based on reaction to the market and examining the market is, I think, going to be beneficial to your team. Would you say, Angie, you need, oh, Angie on the phone. Don't just pay attention to the road. Don't you mess with the phone. That's all right. You're muted. So that's all, man. I just want to get on and share that with y'all. I have a reminder in my phone every day to go live. And I'm going to do that every single day. I'm going to go live. All right, I'm getting responses back from my my lead gen this morning, so forgive me if I just went off the market for a second. I mean, just went off the air for a second. This is happening in real time. I was making calls and text messages, and I just got a text back.
Hey y'all, I'm back. I was on a call. The bells is ringing over here.
Ding, 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 ding. Let's go. Let's grow.
Yes. While I was at EXPCon, I was doing negotiations through due diligence for a client. We got past that, got the loan approved, but we got some conditions. So we're working on those. And then yesterday, over the weekend when I got back, I went out with a new client. But, you know, when I be hanging out in my little cigar bar, it came through for me because one of the guys, his fiance got a house sale. So that's my off-market property that is going on the market, but I've been kind of teasing it out there. Got plenty of people that's interested in seeing it. And then we went out on Sunday and they found a property and we went under contract yesterday.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
So, and they're cash.
Awesome, Edge.
Yes,
go.
thank you. They cash.
So Angie, I'm gonna say this to you. I don't know if you already do this or not, but I'm gonna need you to start journaling some of these deals. There's a lot for your mentees to learn from your journal. If you just shared your journal with them as a to-do, you can do. It'll save you a lot of heart-wrenching energy when somebody is like, I don't know what to do. I'm on day 30 and I haven't had a nibble. I haven't had a lead and this and that. You can be like, well, let's take a look at the journal.
That part.
Okay, so, you know, the reset is a strong set.
For real. That's real. And I got a homebound workshop next Saturday. And I started sending it out again, back to what you taught us, sending out our gratitude text. So I already got my group set up and I started sending out my flyer. And at the top of it, you know, please share with your family and friends so that way they know that it's not quote unquote directed to them, possibly. And I got a referral yesterday. I talked to somebody and we're going out. They got to move by December. So like we on a real short time frame. So
Let's go.
It works. It really works.
Let's go. All right, y'all. So I'm going to end the live broadcast. This is something that you can look forward to every day or every weekday. We're going to be coming back here live and sort of sharing our lead gen, sort of sharing some good stories, growing the business. Thank you, Chris Merritt, for making this suggestion. New agents, you're going to get a lot from this. You're going to get a whole lot from this. You're going to be able to look for us on Patreon, and it'll be a little bit more organized and purposeful when we're there. We're starting to build it now. We're rebuilding the audience. We have a whole full audience on Facebook. And there's another 500,000 agents that we broadcast to weekly. We're going to do that with you as often as possible. You guys have a great day. And